Okay, so you want to own a gym, buying some equipment, renting a building, filling it with treadmills and weights, then watching membership fees roll in sounds straightforward. People exercise, subscriptions renew, profits accumulate. Sounds simple. It almost never is. Most people think a gym sells fitness. In reality, it sells consistency, convenience, motivation, and unused capacity. The strange economic truth is that the ideal customer pays every month while visiting as little as possible. Packed facility may look successful, but constant overcrowding increases wear, staffing pressure, complaints, and cancellations. An empty facility looks worrying, yet too much attendance can also damage profitability. That contradiction shapes nearly every decision an owner makes. Equipment must be purchased before anyone lifts a weight. Space must be leased or built before memberships exist. Showers, lockers, flooring, ventilation, mirrors, music systems, access control, and software all need to function together. None of those expenses disappear because enthusiasm is high. Success therefore depends less on selling exercise than balancing expensive assets against unpredictable human behavior. Every square foot must generate enough recurring revenue to justify its existence, even during slow months. Before the first membership card is scanned, the owner has already committed substantial capital to a business that cannot simply pause when demand weakens. And before anyone can chase healthier lives, another reality appears. Opening the doors requires far more investment than most first time owners ever imagine, because construction, specialized equipment, hidden infrastructure, and countless upfront decisions determine whether the business survives opening. Before a gym can welcome its first member, the spending becomes relentless. A modest neighborhood facility can require between $250,000 and $500,000 to launch, while a larger full-service gym with premium amenities can easily exceed $1 million before opening day. The lease itself is only the beginning. Commercial renovations often consume enormous budgets because ordinary retail space rarely functions as a fitness center. Reinforced flooring must support thousands of pounds of equipment. Ventilation systems need upgrades to handle heat and humidity. Locker rooms require extensive plumbing, showers, drainage, and water heating. Mirrors, lighting, security systems, reception areas, and branded interiors add thousands more. Then comes the equipment. Commercial treadmills, ellipticals, strength machines, squat racks, benches, free weights, and functional training rigs are designed for constant use rather than home workouts. Outfitting even a medium-sized gym can cost well over $150,000, with premium brands pushing the figure significantly higher. Technology quietly expands the budget further. Membership management software, access control systems, surveillance cameras, payment processing terminals, Wi-Fi infrastructure, audio systems, and mobile app integration all become expected rather than optional. The surprising expenses usually arrive last. Delivery fees for heavy equipment, professional installation, branding, initial marketing campaigns, legal services, and enough working capital to survive several months without meaningful revenue often catch first-time owners off guard. By the time every machine is assembled, every contract is signed, and every light is switched on, hundreds of thousands of dollars may already be committed. Yet, despite all that spending, the business still cannot legally serve a single customer until another obstacle is cleared. Money may secure the building, but it does not guarantee permission to operate. Before memberships can be sold, a gym must satisfy a web of legal, regulatory, and safety requirements that vary by country, state, and municipality. Each approval takes time, and time is expensive when rent and loan payments have already begun. The building itself must pass inspections covering electrical systems, fire safety, occupancy limits, emergency exits, accessibility standards, and plumbing. Health departments may inspect locker rooms and showers, while local authorities review zoning regulations to confirm that a fitness facility is permitted at the chosen location. Any failed inspection can delay opening by weeks, sometimes months. Insurance presents another significant hurdle. General liability coverage protects against injuries, property insurance covers equipment and facilities, workers' compensation is required for employees in many jurisdictions, and many owners purchase additional professional liability coverage if they employ personal trainers or offer specialized fitness programs. Premiums are often higher than newcomers expect because gyms are businesses where injuries, equipment misuse, and accident claims are constant risks. Employment regulations add another layer. Staff must be hired legally, payroll systems established, tax registrations completed, and workplace safety rules followed. If childcare services, swimming pools, or food and beverage operations are included, additional permits and compliance obligations may apply. None of these requirements generate revenue. They simply consume more capital while the doors remain closed. Every week spent waiting for approvals means another week of rent, insurance, utilities, and financing costs without a single membership payment arriving. By the time the first customer finally walks inside, enormous sums have already disappeared before the business has earned its first dollar. Opening the gym is only the beginning. From that moment forward, the business begins generating expenses whether one member arrives or 1,000. These are fixed costs, and they rarely wait for revenue to catch up. Payroll is usually the largest recurring expense. Front desk staff, cleaners, maintenance technicians, personal trainers, managers, and sometimes security personnel all keep the facility operating. Even gyms that rely heavily on self-service technology still need employees to maintain standards, assist members, and resolve problems. Utilities create another constant drain. Commercial air conditioning often runs from early morning until late at night because fitness equipment and exercising members generate enormous amounts of heat. Water bills rise with every shower, while electricity powers lighting, televisions, security systems, music, and dozens of machines simultaneously. The equipment itself never stops costing money. Treadmills require servicing, cables fray, upholstery tears, bearings wear out, and electronic components eventually fail. Delaying maintenance saves cash in the short term, but risks expensive breakdowns and dissatisfied members who expect every machine to work every visit. Software subscriptions, payment processing fees, insurance renewals, property taxes, cleaning supplies, towel services, internet connections, and marketing campaigns quietly continue month after month. None disappear simply because membership growth slows. Unlike many businesses, a gym cannot reduce most of these expenses overnight. The building must still be cooled, the equipment maintained, and the staff paid even during quiet periods. Every month, the invoices arrive with perfect consistency. Membership income, however, rarely follows the same dependable schedule, exposing the industry's greatest structural weakness. The greatest weakness of a gym is not expensive equipment or rising utility bills. It is the business model's dependence on people continuing habits that most eventually abandon. Every January, millions purchase gym memberships inspired by New Year's resolutions. Attendance surges, parking lots fill, and optimism spreads across the industry. Yet by spring, many of those same members stop showing up. Some continue paying while others cancel entirely. The challenge for every owner is predicting which customers will remain committed and which will quietly disappear. Industry research has consistently shown that many health clubs lose a substantial share of new members within their first year. Replacing those departures requires continuous marketing, promotional offers, discounted enrollment fees, and sales efforts. Acquiring a new member is often far more expensive than retaining an existing one, meaning growth can become surprisingly costly. Competition intensifies the problem. Budget fitness chains advertise memberships for as little as $10 per month, while premium clubs compete through luxury amenities, specialized classes, and wellness services. Independent gyms often find themselves trapped between both models, unable to match the lowest prices or the largest facilities. This explains why struggling gyms frequently appear inexpensive to buy. The equipment is already installed, the building is operational, and memberships still exist. On paper, it seems like a bargain. In reality, declining memberships, deferred maintenance, aging equipment, and long-term lease obligations may have quietly destroyed profitability long before the business was listed for sale. What appears to be a discounted opportunity is often an expensive operational problem waiting for its next owner. The real question then is not how a gym collects revenue, but where lasting profit actually comes from. Membership fees may appear to be the heart of the business, but they are only one part of the economic equation. A profitable gym is built on recurring cash flow, not individual workouts. Owners are constantly trying to increase the value of each member without increasing the cost of serving them. This is why many facilities offer personal training, small group classes, nutrition coaching, branded merchandise, recovery services, vending machines, and supplements. These products and services often carry much higher profit margins than a standard monthly membership. A member paying $50 each month may generate far more value by purchasing training sessions worth several $100s. The most successful operators also understand utilization. Every treadmill, squat rack, and exercise bike is an expensive asset that earns nothing while sitting idle. The objective is to sell enough memberships to maximize recurring revenue without creating so much congestion that members leave. Finding that balance is one of the industry's most difficult economic calculations. Cash flow also matters more than accounting profit. Monthly memberships provide predictable income that helps cover fixed expenses, while annual contracts and prepaid memberships can improve short-term liquidity even though the service will be delivered over many months. Yet the single largest revenue variable remains completely outside the owner's control: human commitment. Motivation changes with seasons, economic conditions, personal finances, injuries, and lifestyle choices. No marketing campaign can guarantee that people will continue prioritizing fitness. The equipment keeps depreciating. Rent continues arriving. Employees still expect paychecks, the costs remain fixed, the revenue rarely does. That reality has shaped the fortunes of some of the world's largest fitness companies. Few companies illustrate the economics of the fitness industry better than 24-Hour Fitness. For decades, it grew into one of America's largest gym chains, operating more than 400 locations and serving millions of members. The strategy appeared remarkably strong. Large facilities, long operating hours, recognizable branding, and recurring membership revenue created the impression of a business with dependable cash flow and enormous scale. Expansion accelerated as new clubs opened across major metropolitan areas. Investors saw predictable subscription income, while customers viewed the brand as a permanent fixture of the fitness market. Like many large gym operators, the company relied on high fixed costs being supported by a constantly renewing base of members. As long as enough people continued paying every month, the economics worked. The weakness was hidden beneath that stability. Every location carried significant obligations, including long-term leases, payroll, utilities, equipment maintenance, insurance, and financing costs. Those expenses continued whether members exercised every day or stopped visiting entirely. The business needed consistent membership revenue simply to support its existing footprint. When the COVID-19 pandemic forced widespread gym closures in 2020, that structure was exposed almost overnight. Membership income fell sharply while many of the largest expenses remained. Temporary closures quickly became a prolonged financial crisis. With hundreds of locations and substantial fixed obligations, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, permanently closed more than 130 clubs, and restructured its operations. The pandemic triggered the collapse, but it did not create the underlying vulnerability. It simply revealed how dependent large fitness businesses are on uninterrupted recurring revenue to support enormous fixed costs. Scale had amplified both the company's strengths and its weaknesses. The lesson extends far beyond one brand. A gym does not become financially resilient simply because it has more members or more locations. Its survival ultimately depends on whether recurring income can consistently outrun the relentless cost of remaining open, bringing the economics back to anyone considering owning one. If you owned one, the best-case scenario is a well-managed gym with strong member retention, disciplined cost control, and multiple revenue streams. Membership income comfortably covers fixed expenses, personal training boosts margins, and steady cash flow allows equipment upgrades without excessive borrowing. The typical scenario is less glamorous. Membership numbers fluctuate, repairs appear unexpectedly, marketing never truly stops, and every pricing decision risks pushing customers toward cheaper competitors. The business survives through careful management rather than spectacular profits. The worst-case scenario begins when recurring revenue declines but fixed costs remain. Rent, payroll, utilities, insurance, and loan payments continue every month while cancellations accelerate. What once looked like valuable equipment becomes difficult to sell, and an attractive facility turns into an expensive obligation. Owning a gym can absolutely create wealth, but only when the economics are understood before the emotions of entrepreneurship take over. Success comes from managing utilization, retaining members, controlling fixed costs, and protecting cash flow through changing economic conditions. A gym isn't really a fitness business. It is a recurring revenue business that rents motivation while constantly managing expensive physical assets whose profitability depends on human behavior remaining predictable enough to cover fixed costs month after month, forever.